Hello, Chesser here. So today we'll be playing Omnitel Control. Foundations has dropped and they reprinted the Omni. So I opened a bunch of packs and now I got to build the full Omnitel Control list, which I think is the best version of the show and tell right now, but I don't really know. I haven't played the traditional one, and I'll be starting off by playing this one, which I really like because this has mana drain. This plays a lot like tempo, but instead of killing your opponent through frog, you just go off with the combo and kill them. So it's a pretty standard list, but we have Fatal Push and Mana Drain in the main. And compared to the turbo version of this deck, we don't have Dark Ritual, but we do have Mana Drain, so this still accelerates our game plan. Assemble the team. This is just extra copies of Demonic Shooter most of the time. Seek New Knowledge is an alchemy card that lets you play at instant speed, so it's like a better impulse effect because it looks for two non-land cards. So hitting lands with this isn't going to happen. Well, it could happen if you hit waterlogged teachings. And here we have waterlogged teachings. So this is actually secretly the a good tech that I've found while reviewing the list. So teachings is an extra copy of Hullbreaker Horror. It's an extra copy of Born Upon the Wind. It's also a copy of every instant that you have while upping your land count. This list plays 20 lands, and with waterlogged teachings, it's actually 23, which is where you want to be if you want to be making consistent land drops. So basically, to go off, you just cast Show and Tell, get down an Omni, play Atraxa, and dig your way through a Mastermind's acquisition, cast Approach, then dig for the approach, cast it the second time, and you win on the spot. An alternative to that is you could go for Omni, put Hallbreaker Horror in the mix here. And if you have both Hallbreaker Horror and Atraxa, you could keep bouncing the Atraxa back to hand so that you dig further and further into your deck and eventually you get through the combo. Or if you lose access to Mastermind's acquisition, you could just win with Atraxa and Horror Beats, bouncing everything that they have on board. The list came from Novos, who is an Omnitel addict. So they've been playing with the list, the traditional list, and this version for a very, very long time. I think it's already past 4 seasons already. So basically, the uh, they're the show and tell version of me with Frog. So we're starting off with this list, and if you haven't already seen this, they also have a sideboard guide, which is very helpful if you're starting out with the deck. So they have here Mardu Energy, Boros Energy, Aquite Belcher, Tempo, and some concepts here. Anyway, let's try to play some games with this deck. Let's play first against the unplayable Chad. They have no companions, so this might be a mirror match. So I think we keep this. We have the horror here. Going to play with breeding pool. Okay, looks like it's affinity. You might be in trouble here. It's tutor for show and tell. See if they tap out here. Let's discard the tutor. Hmm. Now I think we should just push the Emery. We're gonna look for Veil of Summer here. That's pretty good. Stay under city sewers. Don't think I want the basic. Very good as long as they're not pressuring me. You can just dig here. I might fail this if they counter. Okay, perfect. Because dig through time lets me dig for another veil. Now we can Mystic Sanctuary for dig, I guess. They have exactly one card. So it's Kappa. We just get dig here. We get Atraxa and another dig. Now we just get another dig. And here's the tutor. So now we can tutor for masterminds now. We can keep bouncing the Atraxa to recast it. Then now we have masterminds to search for our sideboard. Get the approach. And now we win on the spot. Against Affinity, that's certainly new. We have Frozen Grip. Have Abrupt Decay. Force of Vigor. Frozen Grip. Do I want push? Not sure if I want push. And I think the cut here is seek new knowledge, born, Let's see. Let me check the sideboard guide. I think we can cut a push here. Maybe even two push. Yeah, I'll cut down on the push. I think I need the masterminds to win on the spot because I can't really bounce the kappa sometimes. This is a keep. We have the combo. I have to keep in mind they might be playing. They might be playing something like Vexing Bubble. So I think that's fine. Discard the extra Omni. As long as they don't have a blue permanent, we can go off. Let's keep the assemble. I think I could go for it here. Sacrifice Treasure Vault into Spell Pierce. Well, we did keep the assemble, so that should be fine. Otherwise, a bubble could be problematic, but we could just cast these cards normally next turn. Okay, this in. Hmm. Force is really tempting. I think I'll just take a force here. Now we just get back the show and tell. Nice. Now that I think about it, it should have been abrupt decay so that I could show and tell, play abrupt decay on the bubble if they have one, then go off. Right, let's play first. Hmm, this is a good enough hand. Let's try it. We have double mana drain, though I'm not sure because we have a symbol here. Oh, it's a member of the Corey server. Oh no, looks like it's the mirror. Alright, I can't cast the assemble now. That was bad. Oh, they're playing Belcher. And we get here. Okay, so here's a problem. If I go for the show and tell here, they can just land Belcher, then kill me with it. So now I have to find Born upon the Wind. Maybe I could tutor for it here. Okay, that's nice. And we can go off next turn. Just going to counter the Thunder Trap. We don't have the what we don't want them to have access to Flare. Wonder if they can target. Okay, I thought they can target Mana Drain with Commandeer or two Commandeer. Then I try to jump here with Veil up. Okay, play the Omni and Atroxa. Get the Hullbreaker here. Nice. So against Belcher, let's see what Novos write or wrote for this matchup. I think it's the same, almost the same for Black White Belcher. Push is bad here. Is it? Let's play Veil. Abrupt Decay. I think they play Flutes. Thoughtseize is probably good. Hmm. Maybe cut some. Maybe cut the assembles for Spell Pierce. Do I need Masterminds? Let's try cutting this. Maybe I should have gone for the Force. Yeah, that's a pretty good hand. You're just missing a Veil of Summer here. But Mana Drain could be good. Hold up Abrupt Decay and Mana Drain. But I'm going to Brainstorm this turn. Okay. Don't want the second Omni. Let's Surveil. Again, digging for Veil of Summer. Think I don't want the second copy. Hmm. I think I just Mana Drain this. Looks like they don't have a flare. Okay. Now what we're going to do is search for an island. Okay, they don't have any counter spell. We just get a counter spell. And a veil, I guess. I was trying to bait out them tapping off mana drain or something. I can't play show and tell since I know that they have the Belcher. Second Veil is not good. Okay. We now have access to Waterlog. Just need this. Now we can go off. Okay, that's unexpected. Try to counter the dig. You know that they don't have a counter spell. Hullbreaker Horror. Guess we let that resolve. We play our own. Nice. So that the gameplay is kind of complex if you know what to play around. And for this case, I wasn't really expecting them to have their own Hullbreaker. Play first. I think this is a decent hand since we have double shooter and the mana to cast it. You might be dealing with a mirror here. Don't need another land. Going to get, yes, Omni. The Thoughtseize. Can get the Omni. Let's just assemble here. Okay, that was pretty bad. Hmm. Going to get Brainstorm instead. I really need an Omni to face their Omni. Okay, so it's not just now. Going to push this. Let's Brainstorm first. Okay. I think I want the assemble. So while this is on the stack, you can dig. Cut off my mana wrong, so that could be an issue. We have to go for it here. I think we just go off here. Nice. So sometimes you're forced to just go off. So this is a dimmer tempo variant, so we're going to sideboard the same way. So cut seek new knowledge, the masterminds, born. Not sure if I can cut this. Yeah, I don't think I can cut that for this particular version because Elenda has a disenchant. Rock Decay is good here. Thought Seeds is good. I think this is fine. Wonder if their version runs grief. We're on the draw here, so I chose to run Thought Seeds over Veil for that reason. Okay, they gave up. Opponent has no companion. Oh, they have a Giganta. We have one part of the combo and a Fatal Push. And for that reason, I think we should keep. Could be wrong. Let's take this. And that one damage might be impactful later on. I think we still push the guide here. Need to get show and tell. Could kill the token. That's fine. Honestly, we just win here. Search for the Hullbreaker. Nice. So Boros energy. How do you board against this deck? We don't want the veils. The seek. A seek is cut here. Abrupt decay force vigor. That makes sense. This is a keep. We have demonic shooter and the omni. Going to lead with the let's lead with the hedge maze. Okay. That I feel that was a bad play. It should have been watery grave instead. This next turn we want to demonic shooter, right? Yeah, that was a mistake. And we'll see if we pay for that next turn. I knew there was something wrong with my sequencing there. Should have been Watery Grave into Fetch Island, Demonic Tutor. That allows me to show until turn 3, no matter what. Now we just get shafted by Moon. But thank God they didn't have the Moon. This card is secretly the MVP of this deck. Because now I can show and tell safely. Just play the Atroxa. Nice. So like for that instance, I could have been punished by them having a blood moon. So sequencing even the basic things like sequencing your land is something to think about when playing Timeless in general. Let's play first up against a Giganton deck again. This is keepable. We have push, we have show and tell. Seek can probably get us there for the combo. This alchemy card is actually pretty good. It lets you play the deck at instant speed. So how do we want to sequence this? I think we can start with the tap land here. So we can seek on turn 2. Oh, their affinity. I was expecting them to play Boros. But Giganta means they don't have any counter magic except for Rebuke and maybe Pierce. Too many dig through times here. Don't want another show and tell. Okay. Force of Vigor though. Let's play out the Mastermind's Inquisition. Get an Omni. Hopefully they tap out here. And they do. That's nice. Now we just have to get back the Mastermind's Acquisition. Play show and tell. Play a dig. Play Mastermind. Search from outside. We want to get approach. We cast approach. We dig for approach. Okay, against this deck, I think we can cut the push. Force of Vigor and the Prop Decay is good here. Frozen Grip probably is good also. Do we want Veil of Summer? They have black, so maybe they are playing this card, maybe not. Hmm. I think this just means that Mana Drain probably isn't that good. I'm actually going to try to play Spell Pierce instead since we're on the draw. I think we can disrupt them a bit. Okay, we're just looking for fast hands. Yeah, this is good. We can force their lands. We're getting a breathing pool for turn one. And I'm going to hold up. Hmm. Let's keep this bottom the dig for now. We're far off from casting that. Okay. I'm just gonna force. I'm just gonna force here. Get a hit, hedge maze. I should have forced the foundry and the land turn one. At this point, we're just looking for show and tell. Let's play Spell Pierce here. Let's play a Seek. Perfect. We just have to jam. Maybe I could give one more turn. Symbol going for. Let's take the brainstorm. Because they could have the metallic rebuke in hand and they're not killing me this turn, so I think that was fairly correct. Okay, now that they tapped out, things are easier for us. Okay, they can draw their cards. Take demonic tutor. Hey, we win. Welcome back. So, what do we think of the deck? I think this is probably the most broken thing you can do in Timeless. It's actually most of the time you're just thinking about what hate pieces they could be playing, and you're always the oppressor since from their side, they're always going to think about that if they don't interact by turn 3, you're going to kill them on turn 3. So that by itself buys you a lot of time. If they're a counter spell deck, they have to hold up counter magic by turn 3. That frees up a lot of pressure. You could dig for more veils, which is cheaper than their counter spells. And occasionally you can even get them with mana drain to buy extra mana so that you can cast show and tell for one. And I don't really have any huge comments about the sideboard or the main deck. I think so far I haven't run into any issues with it. I guess one there was this one particular game where the Hallowed Fountain was really awkward because I wanted to cast Assemble on the second turn. But other than that, I think, hold on, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay. That's a bit heavy, but I think it's worth it. It's fine. Again, the Hallowed Fountain is probably here because you want to hardcast the Atraxa some of the time, or maybe hardcast the approach. The commandeers in the sideboard, this is mostly for the Necropotence matchups, where on the draw, you need a free spell to interact with Black White Belcher. So the commandeers and the spell peers, Thoughtseize, all come in for that matchup, but we haven't really faced any. And one thing I do like about this list is I really, really like the waterlogged teaching stack in here because it essentially makes you play less copies of the dead cards. So Hullbreaker Horror is an example of a dead card if you don't have show and tell exactly. So most of the time the combo piece is just show and tell and omni. And you could have teachings to find the horror. And it also acts as extra copies of Dig Through Time, which is so so good. And comments were the fatal push. This is an appropriate card for this deck because if you think about it, pushing a creature buys you a lot of life. And buying a lot of life means that you get extra draws. So essentially, you can think about this or do some mental gymnastics and say this fatal push is actually a divination. And the main deck Veil of Summer, this is, let's face it, Timeless is a black heavy format, so it makes sense to be maining Veil of Summers. Thoughtseize is a card that is great against the tempo matchups. I haven't really played enough games to know if you want more of the discard spells, and I trust that the people who main this deck already have considered the counts for each. So for example, Fatal Push is only 3. I'm certain that there's a reason for that, but I don't really know. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.